All right, explorers, today we're going to go check out the old mining town of Rhyolite. It's a big ghost town. It was a pretty big place at one time. We've got this sign here, so I think I've figured out how to get the camera close enough to a sign so that you guys can actually read it. I'm going to try that this time. And then we're going to go check out a few other things around here. Just from the sign, do a quick look around. Got this old Ford truck here. That's pretty damn cool. Right down here we've got the glass bottle house. You can see on the hill off behind it there's some tailing piles over there, and you look around on the hills over here, there's more tailing piles. Some of this stuff looks like it's still fairly fresh, like maybe they're still mining in this area. I'm not really certain on that. If I can find out some information about that, I'll be sure and pass that on. Anyway, let's take a look at this sign. Hopefully I'm close enough we can read all of that. And as always, feel free to pause it and read through everything. But I want to point out this, Rhyolite at a glance. In 1907 there were 18 grocery stores, 50 saloons, 6 barbers, 35 gaming tables, and 8 doctors. They don't talk about the ladies that were here, do they? Anyway, let's go check out a few other things. Okay, so over here we have the house made out of glass bottles. Let's go over and take a look at this. All of these walls is just bottles, and the word I heard is all of these were beer bottles from out of the local saloons up here. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but 8 saloons in this town, they probably had a lot of beer go through. This is all just concrete packed around glass. You can see some assholes busted stuff out here and there. That's really nice. Beautiful stuff. Hopefully the camera will look in here. Don't know if you can see in there or not. We've got a bunch of different things they've made over here, little houses. I think this is a model of the town at one time. Actually, I know this was a model of the town. Some of it's busted up, missing a lot of stuff. This is all just made with boxes of chicken wire and concrete and pieces of broken glass. That's pretty cool. That must have been the church up at the far end of town. Anyway, some more. Look at the glass wall. This is incredible. Old log cabin syrup tin there on the table. Some old bottles that didn't make it into the wall. What? 7-Up? It's a little bright on this side. God, I'd love to see what that looks like from the inside. I wonder if the bottles go all the way through. Out here they just have a bunch of different artifacts, you know, shovels and hose and different things, broken up pieces of porcelain and bottle. Just some junk to look at. And here's the front porch. In an area like this, that little tree made some pretty precious shade. I like the little bench underneath of it. Let's go see if we can look in the windows up here on this porch. Oh wow, the old bed. That's actually not a very old bed. Doesn't appear as though they made it so that the bottles would look all the way through. That would be pretty neat to have that light shining through in the morning and the afternoon. Anyway, that's the house made of bottles. Let's go see some more stuff. Okay, so from the bottle house now I'm walking up the hill up into the main part of Rhyolite. We've got a foundation and walls here. I'm not really sure what this building was. I know they've got different signs up in different places. You look up here, this two-story building. There's Lisa and Mowgli. This was the old school, and I'll pass on some more information about this. What I had heard was this was the second school that was built up here. The first one was built so poorly that they really couldn't occupy it. And then they built this concrete school, and you know, it was all set up, all getting ready to go, and then the economy here in the town just fell apart. The mining fell apart. They had all kinds of different problems, and they never even actually got to use this as a school. Over here, what's left of the foundation, this was the Miners Union Hall. God, all of these buildings are just gone. The building way out there, the 4 wall block building, I'm pretty sure that was the old jail. I don't know. We'll see if we can get over there and take a look at that. Then there was another little, looks like kind of like a train depot building. Some other foundations, guys. There's just ruins all over out here. Anyway, again, there's the Rhyolite School. Boy, there's still a lot of remnants of mining, you know, tailings coming out in different places. There's an old steel, looks like a steel tank way up there on the hill. There's a lot of work that went on around here. I'm not really sure, as I'm filming this, I'm not sure what happened, why this fell apart. I know that they had some problems here. It's like a lot of the mining towns in Nevada and Idaho. There was a huge boom, lots of people moved in, towns built up like wildfire, and then, you know, in a few years it just collapsed. Kind of an interesting thing. There's still so much gold mining and silver mining going on that, you know, some of these places they report they've only gotten, we were talking to the ranger up at Bayhorse up in Idaho, and he said the report is there in the Bayhorse area they only took 10% of the valuable ore out of the area. Yet the town just dried up and went away. The mining ceased to happen up there, so I don't really know what happens. Anyway, let's take a look at some more Rhyolite. Here we've got another building just in complete ruins. Main entry corners still standing. There's a lot of concrete up here, that's for sure. This must have been a bank because that looks like a vault. No sign out here to tell us what this is. But you look at that entry, that's pretty prominent. And then, what, like I said, what appears to be a vault, which is the only thing that's not really in complete ruins. Huh. HD and LD Porter, 1906. This might have been a store. These must have been areas to load stuff into the basement. Look at this other one. There's actually a doorway that went from this to go back in underneath of the store. You can see how high, you see the floor joist sticking through the rock there, how high the floor was above the basement floor. So there was plenty of room for a lot of storage down there. Huh. All right, so I guess that building right there was not a bank. This was the Overbury Building and Bishop Jewelry Store, which could still explain the reason for having a vault. They probably had a lot of gold and stuff. There's a lot of money came out of these hills. What a great place to have a jewelry store. And what do we got over here? This was the bank, John's. Boy, that's, the sign's pretty roasted. I don't even know if you'll be able to see that. John S. Cook and Company Bank. So this one was the bank. Concrete building, brick up on top. Looks like it was a pretty ornate building in its time, but just collapsed now. Just crumbling, complete ruins. Looking out here, boy, there's just all kinds of mining operation out there. There were 3 different railroads that came into this town. They were planning for something pretty big, that's for sure. I guess it just never happened. Let's see what these got to say. Prospering business. Well, that's not this building. That might have been next door to it. These signs, some of these aren't even mounted anymore, so it's hard to tell where they belonged. The Shriners Parade, again, sign is really damaged. Had a big Shriners Parade right through town. So we get this great big building up here behind me. Kind of hard to tell. It might have been a restaurant, might have been a hotel, might have been both. Hell, I don't know, this might have been a train station. See if we can find a sign for this. I'm not seeing anything just yet, but this building is actually, compared to everything else in town, in great shape. They've put a roof on this not too long ago, so that's probably helping to protect just the structural aspect, the wood structural aspect. Not a lot of rot, but you can see these doors up here are sagging and busted. The windows have been broken out all over the place. Thank you little assholes that feel the need to bust stuff up. Anyway, pretty cool building. I'm gonna walk on around here. Look out. You know, we've already looked down that way, what I think is the jail and some other little building. Just some more view of some of the impact of the mining up here. Got this old wooden building over here. Mowgli. There's my dog. He's hell-bent on finding a rattlesnake or a jackrabbit. What's around the back of this building? I'm not seeing any signs of a rail bed around here, so I don't know where the trains actually went. Like I said, that sign showed there was 3 different trains that came into here. And we've got this road that goes all the way across this side of the property. And a couple other roads that zigzag around out here. But again, no sign of a rail bed. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? Union Pacific caboose. Let's go see. There's my dog. There he goes. Hey. An old wooden box caboose. Wow. Come here. This is cool. Come here, dog. You see anything in here? Floor's a little busted up. There's an open door over there. That's neat. I love old trains. A lot of you won't know this, but I actually remodeled an old steel caboose many years ago. This caboose had been remodeled for the war effort. It was a steel box, looked fairly similar to this. Had a bigger cupola on top, probably about the same size, but the whole box was steel, and where all the windows were, they had welded steel plates over that with small portholes. It was used to be able to go down the tracks to defend the trains, and I had to cut all of that out, put new windows in. We did a really great job remodeling that. Did some framing inside and sheetrock and whatnot. So just aside from loving trains, that was a real thrill to get to work on something like that. Come on. Anyway, that's pretty neat. Still not seeing a sign for this building. And the more I look at it, the more I think this was probably a train station. Maybe for people coming in, going out. All right, so we walked down here to the building that I was thinking was a jail just by its construction, and pretty sure that's an accurate statement. Got bars on the windows. Somebody's piled some rock up here to try and look in. Let's see. Poke the camera in there and see if we can see anything. I can't see what the camera's seeing, so we'll go around and look at the windows on the other side. A maniac dog's about to run himself out. What do we got here? Huh. Interesting. Doesn't look like jail stuff still in here. It just looks like some garbage storage. It's an old display case. You can see, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but see all the rebar. This is all reinforced concrete all the way around. The roof is just coming apart, caving in. That's a shame. It's too bad they don't do something to try and save this. But I'm pretty sure this was the jailhouse. So Lisa and Mowgli have found an old mine shaft up there. I came over here to look at this old grave. Isabella Haskins. Huh. Looks like people come around and decorate it pretty regular. All kinds of stuff here. Old flip-flops and high heels. Champagne bottles. Kind of interesting. Give the old gal something to do while she's in the afterlife. Let's go up and take a look at this mine shaft. Alright, came up here to this old mine shaft. Just take a look around. So we're up above the whole town here. That's the jail we were just at. That's the old, like I said, I'm pretty sure that's a train station. It's not going to be any kind of a restaurant or anything. The old school, jewelry store, and the bank. Let's go poke around in here for a minute and see what we can see. Cribbing and stuff up here. That's kind of sketchy. I forgot to bring my flashlight, so let's see what we can see in here. Oh wow. So it goes back in quite a ways. Hopefully you're seeing that. Looks like somebody's dug underneath of there. I ain't gonna do that. Yeah, that goes back. I can see back 10, 15 yards. It just kind of turns off to the left. Cool. What a scary job this must have been, huh? Not my thing. Okay. Coming out of the mine shaft. No, I don't feel like a miner. Alright. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this trip, and keep an eye out. We're going to have a bunch of videos coming out really soon. Have a great day.